Leanne, I don't know how to tell you this, but I blame myself.
Oh,
I blame myself for being sick for weeks on end.
yeah.
I blame myself for raising $7,000 more for a soup kitchen benefit I produce. I blame myself for a lot of things, but I will not blame myself for today's General Hospital Snark podcast, Snarkcast.
Okay.
Hey everyone! Yes, I'm still sick and nasally and can't hear myself, but that's not going to stop me. Right, Mama Snark?
Nothing stops us. That's one of the problems.
But as I teased in the opener, thank you for anyone and everyone who donated to our soup kitchen benefit this year. This year we bested ourselves by 7 grand. Last year we raised about 23,000. This year we don't have the final tally yet, but this year we raised over $30,000.
And how much does that translate into actual meals for people? Do you
A
have the number?
100%. And currently, obviously, going through a pandemic, our volume per day used to be about 100 to 150 meals served.
Mm-hmm.
Since the pandemic, that has skyrocketed. At one time, we were serving about 750 meals a day.
Oh,
That's a big increase.
it's
And
enormous.
currently, we're hovering around 450, 500 meals per day. So it is so appreciated, and we so appreciate our audience and everyone involved with that benefit. But we're not here to speak about a benefit unless it's the nurses' benefit.
But that's not for months.
But we don't know if they're going to do that. So let's dig in and talk about Lulu.
Ooh, lampshade Lulu resurrects.
Well, I have to say, just based on because I saw the comparison clip, the redone scene with Lulu and Cyrus. I mean, just I can't praise it enough. It was so
She's great.
much
Yeah.
better. And again, not to knock an actress down to praise another actress, but I've always said Emmy Ryland was seriously miscast as Lulu, and it suffered. That part suffered for many years until they just finally decided to put her in a coma. So I'm glad she's back. I'm glad she has what a lot of people call Julie Berman energy, because Julie Berman, as we know, was the original Lulu, the
Adult Lulu. Yeah.
OG adult Lulu. Yes, yes. I'm very excited to
I
see
think
what.
I'm very excited about the Lulu thing. I am excited that Cyrus is going to be back on as our resident bad guy. And before we push the button here, David and I were talking about what happened to put Lulu in the coma. And I said, I remember those days as being really awkward in the sense that they had broken Lulu and Dante up because
Yeah,
Dante went away for a while. And Lulu was just kind of, they didn't know what to do with her, much like what happened with Sam when they made her into the housewife. They didn't know what to do with Lulu. So they stuck her with Dustin, who was a horrible partner. And she woke up one morning deciding to be a journalist, never having done anything that remotely had anything to do with that.
yeah.
And
Wasn't it her Crimson experience?
I know, but
was
I'm
making
sorry,
her.
that is a huge leap.
Yeah,
And apparently, if I remember correctly, and we didn't exactly do our homework, she found out something about Cyrus that would have destroyed him. And so therefore he blew the whole thing up. Dustin died. She went into a coma. Bada bing, bada boom. She woke up hearing Cyrus's voice. And so, yeah, sadly, it looks like she's not going to wake up as Sam or some other weird person. I love all the theories that we get and the weirdness.
yeah. I would expect that of Soap. Remember ABC's Soap, the nighttime primetime.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great plot twist for that show.
Yeah.
General Hospital, though it has a very slippery grasp on reality, does try to be a little bit more serious. I did love the fact that we one of our patrons pointed out the mistake of the nurse.
Well, we don't know. So, what we're talking about, for those of you who haven't read the page, is that when last we saw Elizabeth, she was being called into Portia's office to be blamed for Sam's situation. And our patron nurse, she's the nurse to all the patrons, She said, "Hey guys, this is not how it would happen." Liz was the head nurse on duty. She would be brought in to investigate with the other people, but ultimately the nurse who dispensed the drug would be the one who got into trouble. But of course, we're not going to do it that way.
Well, and Liz is a contract character,
And
and
who hasn't
Portia,
had a decent story in years?
there you
Yeah.
go. And Portia, boop, 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 boop. She's had her radar out to find somebody to blame. Bada boom, bada bing, we got Liz.
But Cyrus is going to be an interesting personality moving forward. I know that a lot of people have been really annoyed by the uber religious Cyrus who quotes, but that is such a beautiful mask for him to wear.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
it is very telling, and so I think we're going to see a lot more of that happen. At least I hope so. I love Jeff Kober. As I said the other day on the page, Jeff Kober, who portrays Cyrus, is one of the finest actors we have. He is not a soap actor. He is a primetime dude who moved into soaps. He is just so talented. He can pull off all these weird eccentricities that Cyrus has as a character. Don't you agree, David?
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, unfortunately, I think for a long time the writers didn't know what to do with him, but they wanted to keep him. So that's why we just got this
Yeah.
endless parade of, I'm religious now. But in terms of the long game of, again, creating a soap opera, keeping a soap opera interesting, that can work in its favor now because as we've got Lulu back, we can ramp up the evil and see what's really going on.
I would like to see Cyrus. I would love to see Cyrus's character really explained as to why is he evil, and yet I really think there is a side to him that loves his family, that loves Laura, and I want this conflict worked out somehow.
Yeah.
We don't really know why Cyrus is evil, do we? Or did we get a backstory on him? I don't remember.
Oh, I think one monologue eons
Yeah.
ago,
So
probably
that would
for
be
TV
interesting. And,
realistically.
frankly, if there's anyone who could pull that off, it's Jeff Kober. He would be, we could see the
Yeah,
intense need to be evil and to take things out on people, where at the same time he can do that incredibly vulnerable thing that he does.
right. Whereas Jagger, Cates, remember him?
Oh God.
I think people have
Nobody else
forgotten.
does.
Yeah, nobody else remembers him. I think, his turn into the evil category was like,
Well, it was as
where'd
if
that come from?
he took a pill. He took the evil pill at night,
Yeah, yeah,
mistakenly thinking it was Viagra. I hate when that happens. And he woke up the next morning evil.
yeah. Whereas Cyrus has always been a sort of gray character, not
Hmm.
not so Tad Martin gray. He's always sort of been in that foggy area. So Kate's doing the quick 180 was like, what? Oh, they're just writing him off.
And honestly, do they think that we have forgotten that Sonny killed Kate? Are we just going to ignore that? Is this just
I
going
have
back into the
forgotten.
plot locker? I
I'm
mean,
watching the show. I'm like, oh, that's right. Wait, there's a murder investigation. And granted, it's coming to the forefront now, the Ava Sonny custody trial. But again, they have this tendency to back burner something completely. It's not even mentioned. And then
right.
all of a sudden, like, oh, wait, yeah, there's a custody trial going on.
Oh, wait, Sonny murdered someone. It's so interesting when they focus, obviously Sam's and Lulu's thing has been the focus for the last several weeks, and appropriately so.
Yeah,
However, what's interesting is they're choosing to slide in scenes with the post-pubescent crowd, the young adults. And it's like, we don't want to know that. We want to know about Ava and Rick. We want to know about, what is Sonny up to? I mean, here we have, once again, Sonny is in his benevolent father phase,
yes.
where he's the kind and generous counselor who gives all this great advice to his children who are suffering. And we love Sonny because he's such a wonderful patriarch. Um, Dude just killed someone.
What we're talking about here is you just need little bits. Now, for
Right.
example, I don't know if Chase is not on the murder case, is he? I don't believe he is. I don't even know who's on the
I think
murder.
he was busy doing Violet things and was off,
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to
But
Seattle.
but for instance, say he was on the case. Now he was on a couple times past week. A slight mention of,
They
we're so
could have, right.
frustrated with this murder case. We don't know. We can't find a suspect. da-da. That's all you need is like a little mention so it keeps the story going in your mind.
The deal. If it was a normal, everyday person,
Yeah,
Austin, Austin's just a normal, everyday person. He was murdered. We never found out.
right.
We're talking about an FBI agent. There is no way that would be just let go and ignored.
But speaking of the young crowd,
Mm.
it's interesting to note that I no longer really care about Joss and Trina and anybody who's involved with them. I care about Scout, Danny, and Rocco. What do you
Yes,
want to say about that?
those kids, Sam's kids, Rocco, and I'm going to include Rocco in that.
Yeah,
Holy cow, are those kids knocking it out of the park? All of them, even Scout, who granted she's young and we don't get a lot, but she is right there and she's doing it. And I love that. And you're right. I would much rather, and I think that's what's going to happen, is we're going to be focusing on this new custody thing, not the Ava Rick custody, Sonny Ava custody, but the who is getting Sam's kids, because we have three dads involved right now. We've got three kids, and ne'er the twain shall meet as we do, this. And then we have grandma saying, not to worry, people, I'll take them all. I will open Alexis's house of displaced children, and Tracy will get involved and say, no, no, I have the contract with Port Charles for
right.
the home with unwanted children.
Wayward children. Yes.
How big
No,
is
yeah.
the Q house that everyone in Port Charles can live there?
This is a plot point that's actually an unexpected pleasure. Neither I nor Mama even thought about this. Oh,
Right.
right. Where would the kids go?
Yeah, it's
And
brilliant.
that's important, and that's something that could be a major plot line in the upcoming weeks. And I hope it is, because it's interesting and it's
Well,
rooted in history.
and they've set it up really well. We
Yeah,
had the Drew. We know Drew is not on the up and up, and we have Jason beating him up. So we've got that already set up. I mean, the brothers were already, now they're,
yeah,
and this is going to be interesting to see how this all works out. And I think Jason should raise Danny, but I think there should be a way that the kids get to still feel that they're a family. But how are they going to do that? And
yeah. Which home are they going to be in? And it's great because you have, I mean, everybody right now is Drew, who, Jason wasn't always the model parent.
oh
So
gosh,
that
no.
that really gives it another aspect where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, now he is stepping up.
He's demonstrated that he's still the violent dude again.
Right. So yeah.
It's a
So
great,
is he
they
the
set
right
this up
parent?
really well, I
Yeah.
think.
Maybe they should stay with Dante. But
I would.
no, no
And
contest.
I would love to see in the coming months, years, whatever, Danny and Rocco, we see their friendship as brothers, as friends, as support things. And then as they grow into adulthood, it's that wonderful connection the writers will have to work on. I mean, we're assuming that General Hospital is going to go on for another 50 years, right? So we got to think about these kids growing up, getting married, having their own children, and they become the legacy characters that we're talking about
Yeah.
in 10 years, and
Invest in the future of your show
yeah.
by setting these relationships up now.
So let me just talk about the newest addition, Mr. QB1, Kai Taylor. He and Trina do not have chemistry. This poor child, we are beating her to death with all these bad boys that they're trying to pair her with. And this was just so freaking obvious. Oh, let's
Oh yeah.
cast a black man who will, and I don't have a problem with a black woman dating a black man. That's not the point. The point is it was so freaking obvious, And then you have Dex in the gym yesterday looking at him like he's the next Heisman Trophy winner. I'm sorry, that was just
It's unfortunate that because there is underrepresentation of minorities on soaps, that the mind always goes to they're bringing on a black character.
well, that's what
Oh,
they did with
versus
Isaiah.
yeah,
Immediately Isaiah shows up. Everybody's like, oh, he needs to be with Jordan. Well, yeah, because they have incredible chemistry, but not because they're both black.
let him taste a little of the town before he settles
Totally.
down. He had chemistry with Terry, and I like Terry and Yuri.
Yeah, face it, the man who is playing Isaiah has just a whole heck of a lot of charm.
Yeah,
Just like Brennan, when Brennan came on, he had chemistry with everybody, even the people he was fighting with. So, as we have learned and as we have seen multiple times, you cannot force chemistry. Elizabeth Finn, Carly Drew.
And I said this, I think, last week or one of the week on the Snarkcast, to just have this continuous trope of Trina has to save men. Trina has to fix men.
And
Why
now
can't she just get a good guy?
and she's so angry and pissy about everything. She is like a mini Portia, and I'm over it. I'm over both of them. I'm sorry. This is it, guys. It is not good PC. And I know some people hate to be politically correct, but I'm going to say this. It is not PC to make the Black women on your show angry and bitchy. Not okay.
They have those emotions, but that doesn't have to define their character.
Thank you. Exactly. I mean, when Portia first came on, she was not what we have now. I
No.
was not annoyed by her. In fact, I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful and she's so smart and she's
Such
so
a great parent.
yeah." And now we have Psycho Portia, which mercifully, unlike Kate's, was not done overnight. We got to see the gradual whatever,
Yeah.
but right now it's yeah, everybody is like, "Mm." So let me ask you a question. We talk about General Hospital. Hundreds of other pages talk about General Hospital. Twitter people, Threads people, Insta people, everybody's talking about General Hospital and saying the following things. We don't like Portia. We hate the Willow and Drew story, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, does anyone pay any attention to any of this? Do they care? Or are they just happy that we're talking about it?
I think they're just happy we're talking about it. I mean, when you think about it, and some people of the three soaps left. No, there are four soaps. Just because you can't get one because you're not subscribed to Peacock
It's
doesn't mean
still
it
there.
doesn't exist.
Days is still
But
there.
yeah, Days is still there and doing pretty darn well. Actually, they're keeping Peacock alive. But I think, yeah, GH just in proportion to the other soaps just has so much more public fan press coverage, it seems. And it's rabid. I mean, we constantly make fun on the page about these spoiler pages we see with the really weird
Interesting Photoshop
graphics and yeah,
experiences.
photoshopping. The littlest thing could happen on General Hospital, and then there's a major theory.
In some of these, they're so great. I mean,
Yeah,
we do mock them a little bit in the patrons group. I don't do it on the main page because, hey, they're doing the best they can.
that's
They're
not
trying to
working.
get clicks, and so they're creating clickbait by these weird pictures, For example, so that Sam is still alive and she's coming back. What was the other one I heard? Jason is actually dead. I mean, people, when we say we mock these crazy spoilers, it's because they're crazy.
It's a rabid fan base.
Rabid
Gotta
being
love it.
the operative word.
Gotta love it. Oh, by the way, speaking of General Hospital Snark, the main page, as
The mother
opposed to
page.
all our little sequels and podcasts and things, is fast approaching 60,000 followers, and we have all of you to thank for that. It's truly remarkably impressive to us. We never thought we'd have that many followers.
Never.
Impressive to you too, because you are the people who interact with us and interact with each other, and for the most part, in a good way, which we try to maintain. You have seriously pushed us up closer and closer, rivalry, whatever the word is, the actual real official pages of General Hospital, which there are a few on Facebook. So as soon as we hit that 60,000, I'm going to do a ranking of the General Hospital Facebook pages because there are many. There are over, I think, 200.
Mhm.
It's a lot. So thank you for that. We've got some more great stuff coming up. Obviously, in December, it's going to be the 9th annual Snark Awards,
It's the
which are going
ninth annual. I was trying to remember when we
9 years.
started
Yeah.
this. Interesting. Good.
So you can go back and refer to other years, but they're always a lot of fun. And we love your opinions as well on that. But before we leave, we have to have, of course,
Text messages from Wicked Stepmother. Well, of course, the big news was Lulu. I wrote her the other day. I said, she hath risen. And my stepmom said, for indeed, until she hit the ground. I said, she gets up off the ground just like us. True, says stepmom. My question is, Why did she try to get out of bed? Maybe tomorrow's episode will tell me. I said, don't you love how someone who's been in a coma for over 3 years just gets up off of bed? She goes, nope, it's a very silly piece of dramatic BS. Soap coma! Yay!
That's very true because I have gotten up from a 20-minute nap and it's taken me longer than Lulu did to get
Seriously,
out.
when she, okay, can I just say that when she was beating on her legs trying to get them to wake up, that was highly entertaining. By the way, I've tried it. It doesn't work in helping you get up off the floor.
On that note, yeah, like, follow us, keep it coming. Anything you want to see us talk about in an upcoming Snarkcast, let us know. We're
Let us
here.
know.
Until next week, from
Bye,
Mama Snark and
everyone.
I, bye bye.